walking down a volcano trail, grass everywhere, and jungle, and they had some guys in front of me with sticks, and they was hitting the weeds. I thought, what are they doing? And the translator said, there's a snake here called the two-step snake. Bite you take 2 steps and fall over dead. So I said, beat the bushes, boys! So they were beating the bushes, driving the snake back. Yeah. Who says Christianity is boring? I'll tell you what's boring. Church! That's what's boring. I found out a long time ago, God don't like religion. Here's what he says: away with your new moons and your Sabbaths and your holy convocations, they weary me. One translation says, I abhor the sizzling of your fat. Burning a barbecue for God. He don't need one. He don't like ritual, he loves relationship. That's what he likes. Man likes ritual, something to run. But God loves relationship. True? Every woe that came out of the lips of Jesus in the New Testament, W-O-E means the pronounced judgment of God. Every pronounced judgment of God that came out of the lips of Jesus came towards one segment of society, the self-righteous, pharisaical mind. That person that thought his religion would purify him. Here's what he says: woe unto you scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites, you're like a casket, sepulcher, shining on the outside, but woo, when you lift the lid. You believe we got a God that's a lid lifter? He's looking inside it. We're busy going, polishing the brass. But we need to realize God's going to lift the lid. He said, when you lift the lid, it's full of all dead man's bone. Remember that? Yeah. Every woe came not to the sinner, but to the religious, pharisaical mind, thinking their rituals got along with God. Woo. That won't work, will it? Say no. They're the very ones that said, away with him, have him crucified. He was among them, and even for them, but they couldn't recognize him, could they? No, but the Philippines. Hey, so I'm down there 3 weeks ago now in Houston, in a big Filipino church, and they said, do you want to have a Filipino dinner? Yeah! Texas dinner, Filipino dinner, Chinese. I said, yes. So we go, and my God, they brought out chicken feet. Chicken feet! Yellow chicken feet. A whole platter full of yellow chicken feet. They said, do you want chicken feet? I said, no, I want a little further up on that burger. A leg, a limb, something. But they love the chicken feet. This is true. Yeah. But boy, we had a time. It took us hours to eat. I think we stood here, they come with another. They brought stuff in. I'm telling you, I have eaten stuff around the world you can't believe. Well, oh my God. Can I tell you one of them? I got to India. And we had this big deal in India. So they were going to have this banquet, and I'm telling you, it was a big governmental kind of a thing. So, and it was dark in there. So they bring this thing, and here they came. They bring it in like this, and they said, now, we want to honor you. This is an honor. This is one of the greatest honors. So they sit down, and it's dark in there, some candles burning. So I'm trying to get my eyes focused, and it had ice around it. At first I thought, oysters. Oysters. No, then I thought, oh, that ain't oysters. And I'm looking in the center of the tray. My God. It's a monkey! The head of a monkey. Yes! In the middle of the ice is the head of a monkey. And you take the top off. My God, something warm and hot. And I'm thinking, I can't eat a monkey head. I thought to myself, I ain't eating a monkey head. They said, it's a terrible dishonor. So my mind's a whirling. I go, good God, I'm not eating this monkey head. And so then it hit me. A Bible passage. I said to the host, I said, sir, the Bible says. I let that soak in. Sir, the Bible says, give honor to whom honor is due. And sir, I would be so honored if you would take this. Oh my God, I thought they was going to give me the key to the city. They started applauding. Woo! And this guy was so elated. Good, Lord. I was one happy dude. You know. Then here's another one. We got time for one other. So I'm in Mongolia. I was in Mongolia in the Gobi Desert. It's minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm in a tent in the Gobi Desert. How in God's name did I get there? You want to know? I'm a Southern Baptist pastor. I'm down in Texas, and I go into a trance. I see the ocean. It's as still as glass. And all of a sudden, I can see it on the curvature. I'm sitting there, I can see the whole curvature of the ocean. And all of a sudden, it starts vibrating like that. And I see two ears come up out of the ocean, and it's the ears of a horse. And out of the ocean rode thousands and multiplied thousands of little yellow men on small horses. And they rode over me like a 3D movie. And go that way. I said, Lord, who in the world was that? He said, that's my army from Mongolia. Go release them. Wow. So I didn't know where Mongolia was. It's between Russia and China. So I go, okay. When I went to Mongolia, they had never arrested a single Christian in the history of Mongolia. When I went to Mongolia, they had never arrested one single Christian in the history of Mongolia. And here's what happened. Ulaanbaatar, the capital city of Mongolia, has 675,000 people there. It was the murder capital of the world. More people were killed violently there per day than any other city in the world. And so we go there. Oh my goodness, you talk about something. We had to climb a mountain, bring a curse against a principality that had been there, and guess what's happened in Mongolia? Oh God, the Germans have gone wild with it. They bought bread trucks. They started coming in there. They bought these bread trucks from the Swiss army. They'd go into these villages and start baking bread. The Mongols would come out and they'd preach the gospel to them. Raging revival going on right now while I'm talking to you in Mongolia. It's the wildest thing. But that's something. So I found myself in the Gobi Desert in a tent on that trip. So, boy, there we are. In the tent, 60 below zero. So we're talking about eating crazy things. So there we are. There's a little Mongolian grandmother about that tall, and she's cooking for us. Now they cook with horse turds. Did you know that? But they soak it in some kind of chemical little round pellets. And so they're cooking with horse manure. And so she's got a little bucket there, and they got a smokestack through the tent. So she's cooking, little bitty Mongolian grandmama. And so I don't understand Mongolian, but she cooks scallops and rice. Scallops. And I'm eating. I'm sitting on a bucket of it, eating. Now I think occasionally, I thought, my God, we're in the Gobi Desert. Where did she get scallops? Scallops is a seafood. So I said to the translator, where did she get them scallops? So he says to the little mama, and the little mama goes, that means that guy is such an idiot. Guess what it was? It's the tits off of a cow. You know those things that hang down? That's what it was. Oh, dead cow, they just cut them off like this. Now it tastes like cold rubber. I tell them it's utterly awful. Hey! Yeah, that's what it was. See, I thought it was scallops and it was good till I found out what it was. It is not. But anyway, I found out it's a lot better. Don't even ask. Just sit before you. Go ahead. Except monkey head. Skip monkey head. Do one. It was really rice. Really rice. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, they would, the horses would die. The ones that were old, they died. They'd cook them. They didn't waste a single thing. They would cut them real thin, and honest to God, they would cook the horse meat and then cook an egg on top of it. You could eat the egg, and you had to hold the horse meat in your mouth till it got soft enough to swallow. That is the toughest stuff you ever seen. They got the little bitty horses, but there's a raging revival there in Mongolia right now. I mean, thousands of people. Did you know what? I was just looking at the last statistic I got from Worldwide Evangelism. They say 275,000 people per day worldwide are being born again. 275,000 people per day worldwide are being born again. Isn't that wonderful? That's marvelous. That's really marvelous. It is. It says